My name is Ahmad. I'm the founder and CEO at Merchant Maverick. Merchant Maverick is an online publication that helps small business owners find the best products and services for their business. We write content that helps them inform other decisions, like, do I need inventory management for my restaurant or something like that? But really, the core product that we offer is we help small businesses find the best products. Accounting software, payment processing, lending, point of sale systems. There's a lot of research that goes into figuring out what you want to use for your business. So we engage in that research for you to make it easier for you to pick those products, basically. Tell us your favorite thing about your business. It's really hard for me to pick one favorite thing, but I've said this before, building and developing a team is one of the most fulfilling and meaningful things that I could possibly do within my business. Because we all know, I can't do everything on my own. And it's so fulfilling to have people that are smart and good at what they do that can work with you and support you and help you to build something. So there are many fulfilling things. Helping small business, helping our customers, that's another fulfilling. But I think ultimately the core is helping. For me, when I try to get down to the core of everything, it's helping people grow, helping people get better, helping people achieve their goals. That's something that's core to me and that's valuable to me. Tell us about your proudest moment owning your business. I've had so many proud moments in the 15 years that I've been running Merchant Maverick, but there are some moments where they're kind of defining, they're like milestones to you. And the milestones are usually the sweetest or they make you feel the proudest early on. I mean, it's 2012. I'm 3 years into owning or starting Merchant Maverick, and I'm ready to quit at this point. I'm like, this isn't gonna work. In my opinion, just based on the money that I was making, I couldn't sustain myself. And somebody in the New York Times wrote an article about Merchant Maverick. And I still remember the title to this day. It was like Credit Card Processing and Anger. It was basically a journalist from the New York Times that was talking about how hard it is for small business owners to purchase credit card processing as a service because of how scammy it was. And this journalist mentioned Merchant Maverick as one of the best resources for business owners to be able to cut through that transparency. It was a defining moment for me. Up to that point, I had never been in the New York Times. I had never been mentioned in that way. It was the fuel that basically stoked the fire in me and the motivation to keep going. What's one challenge you are facing? How can the community help? The biggest challenge that we're facing right now is that this isn't a secret. We have lost a significant amount of our Google organic traffic, and we're not the only ones. There are plenty of publishers out there that got hit by an algorithm update that felt very punitive. We lost 98% of our traffic. For a business that relies so much on Google organic traffic, that's huge. So our biggest challenge right now is figuring out how to connect with the small business owners that actively want how to connect with the small business owners that actively want what it is that we offer. And what we offer is information. And if they can't find us on Google, then how are they going to find us? The way that the community can help is, I think, that really understanding what it is that we do. If the small business community could lend me their ear for a second, if I could sit there and communicate with the small business community over and over again, my only request would be just remember us. Just remember what it is that we do, because we can help you as long as you know who we are and you revisit us over and over again to find the products and services that you need for your business. Have you heard of Merchant Maverick? Actually, no, I have not. I have no idea why are you guys even here? Or why are we doing this? No, Merchant Maverick? Is it Merchant Maverick or is it Merchant Mavericks with an S at the end? Vendor rundown. We don't use a point of sale system. We don't need one. We don't use credit card processing because we don't accept credit card payments for any reason. So we don't need that either. Our website is on WordPress, which we really love. It's very flexible, so many plugins, so many opportunities to make adjustments, very, very open source. So our director of product, Tom, just loves the ability to be flexible with changing code here and there, adding things. So highly recommended, especially if you're a content-based site. As a content management system, WordPress is a great platform, and it's a very popular platform. So if you haven't heard of WordPress, I'd be surprised. For banking, we use Chase, and I love Chase. I've been with Chase since they bought Washington Mutual, which was my first bank. And so I've had no issues with them whatsoever. Love them, highly recommended. I think we recommend Chase in a lot of ways on our website anyway. Chase credit cards, Chase banks. Accounting platform, QuickBooks Online, not QuickBooks Desktop. I don't think we even have a reason to use QuickBooks Desktop, but I love QuickBooks. I know our director of finance, Shelly, might have a few gripes with it here and there, but not big enough for us to like discount QuickBooks as a platform in general. We love QuickBooks. And then lastly, payroll. Payroll, we use Gusto. Again, another great platform overall, something that we really love to use. You know, some things here and there, I've heard their benefits administration could be a little bit better, but overall, again, Gusto is perfect. We love them. Yeah, so my very first small business was Auction Expert, and Auction Expert was a sole proprietorship. I did have a resale license, which basically is like you need that in order to resell products. But my primary source of like income in the platform that I use was eBay. You know, in 2002, had read articles that there were people that were earning an income on eBay that were building businesses, and I wanted in. Like, just having that sort of entrepreneurial spirit already, I needed some sort of avenue with which to express that. And eBay was right time, right place. And so eBay, you know, Auction Expert became my thing from 2002, probably till 2006, maybe 3 or 4 years. I really was all about eBay. And I went through the gamut of like trying to sell different products. I mean, it started with my dad, who worked at this company that went under, and the company left him with a bunch of inventory. And they said, listen, this is yours. You can keep it. You can do whatever you want. You can throw it away. And so he came to me and said, listen, you want to do this whole eBay thing? Why don't you sell this stuff? And it turned out to be maybe $100,000 worth of stuff that was in this warehouse. And I really kicked off the whole entrepreneurship thing for me. I learned a lot. I learned about e-commerce. I learned about shipping. I learned about customer service. I learned about SEO. I learned about photography, taking pictures of the products. I learned about accepting payments. That's when I learned about PayPal. That was my foundation. It was like my college. eBay was like my college. Believe in yourself, you know? I had a hard time believing in myself for a very long time. I had breakthroughs. I had moments when I really believed that I could do whatever I want, but there were self-limiting beliefs. Like, I'm not qualified for this. I felt like I had imposter syndrome a bunch of times. Yeah, I would sell myself short, but ultimately that took time to develop. And so in hindsight, it's 2020. If I could go back, that's what I would tell him. I'd also tell him to think bigger, as big as you possibly can. Really just live life without feeling like there are any limits. And I really believe that whatever limits I place on myself are the ones that are gonna keep me confined into the square box that I'm stuck in. Yeah, think bigger and believe in yourself. It's interesting. It's an intersection of a few things, and that intersection has a lot to do with my personality. So the intersection is that I love business in general. So I just like building businesses is 1. 2, I like helping people. And 3, I like making money. So the 3 of those together really mapped out this like trajectory that I've been on in the past few years. And what I mean by that is, like, I was starting a business with my cousin, and we ran into this issue of finding a good credit card processor. But I also had bumped into people here and there that were making money doing review sites. So that's the money side of me. And then the side of me that wanted to help people was like, well, I'm having an issue finding a good credit card processor. I bet other people are finding this issue too. And then, so meshing these things together became the initial idea. So how can I help people that has good economics, that can help me make money, and that helps me ultimately do what I love to do, which is build a business? So let's mold the 3 of those together. And then once I did that, what happened was that I just, because of the fact that I was within proximity of the whole industry, then I realized that this is a bigger thing. it wasn't just confined to credit card processing. I realized that helping businesses find products and services, cut through some of the scammy stuff to like really find this transparency, I think that was a bigger idea than the initial idea. So it was like this small idea birthed a larger idea. And then from then, I started this business in 2009. By 2010, within 1 year, I remember thinking to myself, this is bigger than you thought it was going to be. Oof. Probably, success can be defined in a lot of different terms. Success to me is defined in two terms. First form of success was when I get feedback from website visitors that were small business owners that would be like, this is the best resource that I've come across and I love this information. Thank you so much. That was the first success. The second success was when I financially felt like I was really growing and sustainable, and not just sustainable, like more than I needed. That's when it really felt like, okay, this is something big. And so I would say 2013. So I started in 2009, 4 years in, probably about 4 years in. I grew slowly from a headcount perspective. I did it a little bit earlier than the financial growth. I think that it was maybe 2012, maybe late 2012, early 2013, where I hired my cousin. And that was the first step. I was like, this is the safest way to move forward. And then after that, it was just comfort zone breaking, barrier type thing. You bring somebody else on, and then you bring somebody else on, and then you bring somebody else, and then it just becomes normal. So at the moment, Tom is our long-standing employee at the company, our product director, Tom. And he started as a writer. I hired him as a writer through Upwork, and then he continually just expanded and grew. Business is not personal, but it also can feel like a family. And when you have people that work for you for almost a decade, you end up becoming attached and bonded to those people over that time. And you can try to separate the personal from the business, but for me, it's like damn near impossible. So it impacted me heavily. Like, I had to let go of people that have worked at Merchant Maverick for 10 years or close to 10 years. And these are people that I would consider friends, lifelong friends, people that I bonded with, people that I've had very personal conversations with. So it wasn't like just something on paper for me. It was something real. It was very real for me. And there were very real emotions that were part of that process. I almost felt out of body during that time. It didn't feel real. It felt like this would never happen. And when it actually did, it was hard. It was hard. So I think that the relationships that I had developed with the people that we did end up laying off is like everyone in that crew was on my side. Like they knew that I was making this decision because I had to. I wasn't making this decision because I wanted to like cut costs. Let's trim down. It had nothing to do with that. It was because I had to in order to make sure that the business would survive over the long term. In a nutshell, it was tough. It was tough. I feel like I like blocked some of it out just so I wouldn't excessively deal or think about the emotions too much. Because, these are people that I like loved and I had to let them go. It's not fun. Yeah, I mean, you really have to connect to your own gut, your own soul, like your whatever it is that's inside of you that's gonna help you make that decision. Because if you rely on logic a lot, and there are people that do this, I'm just not one of them. I don't have it in me to just rely exclusively on logic and no emotion. More power to you if you can do, but that's not me. So my advice is you really have to connect to your gut and make the decision from a place of like genuine integrity. And once you make a decision from that place, then you can sleep at night. Even though it's painful, it still allows you to be in a place where you can sleep at night. And you also walk away knowing that whatever the decision is, it's ultimately going to work out for the best for you and for whoever it is that unfortunately had to be laid off or let go. I mean, I don't think so. It's almost like I'm digging for a regret, and I don't want to dig for a regret. I don't want to pull one out just because I think that I need to have one. I don't. There are regrets that are like, they're not me, they're external. Like taking on money and growing faster, getting bigger, right? If I was to say on the surface, that could be a regret, but it really isn't. It really isn't. This is the way that I wanted to run this company. I wanted it to be like one owner, sole owner, without taking on investment, without taking on other opinions about what I should be doing. So it's really hard for me to dig for a regret. And I think that's a good thing. And I don't want to come up with a regret just because I feel like I need to. I got goosebumps. I really did. So when you asked me about the question about success, I said there's financial, and then there's when you hear the feedback from people that have actually like appreciated what you do. This is a new level of connecting with who we're trying to help. And that always excited me more than the money. So it was a goosebump moment. Yeah. And I was trying to hold it back. I was like, trying to like contain myself and be like, what is this thing? Break it down for me. But in reality, I was like, let's go. Okay, twofold. Again, it always comes back to the same two things. It's number one, hanging out with my team. So seeing the two of you just be so motivated about this and so all in, it's so fulfilling. And I would do this all day long. And then the second thing is, it's very parallel to the team building and collaborating with others. It's helping small business owners, hearing their stories. Like I said, when I was sitting there listening to their stories while they're on the interview, like you really feel what they're going through and you want to help. You want to be part of that journey. You want to be part of that process. So the two main things have been collaborating with the two of you, really seeing how all in you are in this project, and then seeing how you bring their stories to life and how excited they get and how meaningful it is for them to talk about their stories. It's like, let's do this every day. I think what we're celebrating is being a destination. And what I mean by that is you bookmark us. This isn't a one-time transactional situation. It's like, we are a repeat destination for you. We haven't answered one question. We've answered multiple questions. So the word destination embodies a lot. It could be that we are a community that helps you. We are a platform that helps you match with lenders or credit card processors or banks. But I really want us to be a destination. So 5 years from now, it's like Merchant Maverick is a place that I've bookmarked. I really wish they understood how much of a repeatable resource that we can be. My mission is to help them understand that we are bookmarkable. I get it. You get a point of sale system, you don't need another product or service for like 6 months. But then you end up running into a situation where you might need a loan or a lender. We're here for that. We have that. We have the information that you need for that. So I think that conveying to others that we are a resource that you can come back to. You don't have to just answer a question once and then like move on again and go back to a Google search. You can just come back to Merchant Maverick and hopefully we will answer a new question for you. Just being a place that can be bookmarked.